Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your very first time here, or you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And turn on a notification bell. Yep, that little bell lets you know when I actually post the videos, when I go live, or whatever. All right, also the thumbs ups. The thumbs ups are really appreciated, but more importantly for me personally, are your comments. I love hearing how you guys feel about the games that we recap here, and whatever other thoughts you have about the Knicks in general. I mean, we're moving. Today is February 2nd. We're moving our way towards the trade deadline, and tonight's game was a very revealing game to me personally about what should be done with these Knicks, where these Knicks are headed if nothing is done. I'm going to cover all of that. Knicks lost 120 to 108. The game was actually much closer than that final score would tell you. That's right. Usually it's the other way around, right? I say, the game was much more out of hand. If you can, my voice is a little scratchy because I screamed so much tonight watching this game. Honestly, I'm surprised my neighbors didn't come over and knock on my door, wondering what was going on. The Knicks actually had cut the lead down to 6 with only a minute and 19 seconds left after an Evan Fournier 3, who was the high scorer of the night, who was the co-star of the night for the Knicks. He scored 30 points tonight. Good game for Evan. Played some decent defense, sometimes got caught out of position, but in general, he played very well tonight. The score was 112 to 106 with a minute and 19 left, and the Knicks could only score 2 points the rest of the way. They were outscored 8-2 for the remainder of the game, and that was all she wrote, as they say. This was a very, very winnable game. I'm actually very annoyed by the way this game was managed. You guys know that I'm a Thibs supporter, I'm a Thibs fan, but I'm not a Thibs stan. Like, I'm not, going to accept whatever he does regardless. I don't really think Thibs was up to the task of managing this game tonight. I know that might sound harsh, but when you consider some of the decisions he made and how slow he was to respond, as if he had a team that at any moment can just turn it on and just go on a 12-0 run. We don't have that team anymore. I don't even know if we ever really had that team, but we have done it in the past. But tonight wasn't that night. We had to really gut this out. I mean, we ended up scoring 108 points, which is, somewhat better than we normally do. It's better than our average. But we allowed 120. That is way too much. And you'll be shocked when you hear how it actually happened, because it wasn't like we were lit up by anyone specifically, except for Mr. Jackson. In fact, let me go to Quickley. I have a lot to say about Immanuel Quickley tonight. Jaren Jackson Jr. He had an excellent game. 26 points, 10 rebounds. Actually, he's the one who won this game for them. And then, of course, Zaire Williams, rookie, shoots out of his mind tonight. So he's the guy who comes into the Garden and has a great night. 9 of 11, 3 of 5 from behind the three-point line. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists he even had. I liked him. He's an incredibly high-ceiling rookie, so good for the Grizzlies. Where were our rookies tonight? Where were they? Where were our second-year players tonight? Where were they? Where was our new acquisition, Cam Reddish, tonight? How do you battle? How do you battle a team like this with their youth and athleticism with a bunch of old vets? Not even that old, actually, but older. That's one of the mistakes that Thibs made. He should have matched youth against youth, athleticism against athleticism, and see what happens. But he was so slow to respond. In fact, he left Kemba Walker in the game in the third quarter for so... I was like, what is Kemba even doing in this game right now? And Kemba, he shot a three-pointer that had no chance of going in. Then he got his own rebound, and he airballed the mid-range shot. Kemba Walker airballed the mid-range shot. That's right. Kemba Walker, 0 points tonight. 0. He somehow finished a +1 in the plus-minus. It just goes to show how crazy those plus-minus stats are. But man, that is not indicative of the game he had. He had 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 0 for 4. 0 for 2 from the three-point line. In fact, Kemba has not hit a three-pointer in 4 games since the Miami Heat game when he went 2 for 7. Against the Bucks, he was 0 for 4. Against the Kings, he didn't even attempt a three-pointer. And tonight, 0 for 2. So he hasn't hit a three-pointer in 4 games, which is what we need him to do. That's why he's out there. He's not out there for his defense or his playmaking, right? I mean, he's there to make buckets. 0. Alec Burks, 4 points, 0 for 3. Alec Burks has just completely disappeared. I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe it's all the rumors getting to him. He's got a new baby. He doesn't want to move. I don't know what's going on. But he's not contributing. But he was out there. He was out there in that first quarter when the game was really kind of hanging in there, hanging in the balance. The game was hanging in the balance right here in that first quarter, as you can see right there. The game was actually tied 11-11 at one point. When Nerlens and Burks came into this game, the whole thing just spiraled out of control. The Grizzlies, I believe, went on like a 10-2 run. I think maybe a 12-2 run or something like that. And suddenly, the Knicks were back to playing catch-up. Can we catch up? Can we catch up? They cut the lead at the halftime to 12. Let's just go to the highlights, man, while I talk about this stuff. As you can see, look, 2 minutes in, we're already down 4-1 and down 6-1. RJ did not have a good first half. He battled, but man, Mitch Robinson was a beast. In the pregame, I said, if Mitch gets 5 to 6 rebounds and we hit our three-point shots, we have a chance to win this game. I really thought this was a winnable game, guys. It was winnable. This is so frustrating. It was actually so winnable that the bench only shot 6 of 23. 6 of 23 tonight. 26%. That's what they hit. The bench didn't have it tonight. So it was hard to go find places to try and get points, but somehow they kept sticking around the Knicks. And Evan Fournier shot 11 of 18, hit 8 of 12 three-pointers. Amazing. Even had 5 rebounds, even had 2 assists for 30 points. Randle almost had a triple-double tonight. Almost had a triple-double. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. But typical Randle fashion, you know, he went and tried to get into the Memphis huddle there, even though he avoids Knicks huddles, like they have COVID. You know, he avoids them, but he'll go and like tussle with the Memphis, and then the game actually started to come apart for the Knicks after that. I don't know why. And then it was a double technical, one on Bane and one on Julius. It's like, come on, man. If your head is actually in the game, you're not doing shit like that. What are you doing going over that bench? Come on. Don't we want to win this game? What's more important to you? Trying to show up and be the man, or you want to get the W? Well, guess what? You know what's more important to us? The W. The Knicks, including tonight, have a 17-game stretch that is so brutal. There is a possibility that they might go 4-13 now, because actually I had put this as a possible win. Let's say they could actually go 5-12 in that stretch. 5-12, which would mean they would be, wow, 28-40. Yeah. Wow. Now 29-40. 29 and yeah. Oh man, that's brutal. All right. You can see here it's the end of that second half. The second half, I mean, that was the end of the first half. Sorry. Kemba, it was a waste of minutes to have Kemba out there. I don't know what we're trying to prove anymore with Kemba. Trying to raise his trade value up. Meanwhile, we're just dropping games at home when they could have been won. When if you had started maybe IQ, which is what Thibs ended up going with, it's the primary ball handler for a good stretch of the night. Kemba Quickley played 27 minutes. Kemba only played 17 minutes. I mean, this is a night where Quickley could have played 30, even though Quickley did not have an efficient night. He shot 3 of 11, 2 of 7. Typical Quickley situation, right? He comes down, hits a huge three-point bucket, then hits another one, gets fouled. So it's tremendous. But then he comes down when the game's like hanging in there. The Knicks are trying to claw back in and maybe tie the game. He dribbles too deep into the paint. He dribbles into triple coverage. Gets the ball stripped from him. And then the next time, I can't remember exactly what happens, but it didn't result in even in a shot attempt. I believe it was actually another turnover. So 2 turnovers in a row. So that's life with Quickley right now. So look how down the Knicks were. 94-79 at one point, but they battled. And there, look, that's the only bucket Obi made tonight. Obi didn't have a good game. Nope. And Nerlens Noel was basically a liability tonight. I don't know what he was doing, but he wasn't contributing to winning basketball. He had 0 field goal attempts, so obviously no makes. 0 free throws. He had 1 offensive rebound, 1 defensive rebound, so 2 rebounds in 16 minutes. This is the center. The backup center, had 2 rebounds in 16 minutes. 3 fouls, a -15, and that is accurate. Burks, 4 points, a -17. Randle, even though he almost had a triple-double, was a -9. And it shows. It definitely shows. Look at this. We kind of started clawing back in. Yeah, they made that bucket there. It was now 1. Look at this. Nice play. Look at this. But the 50-50 balls. We just kept losing the 50-50 balls. Even there. You know, Fournier makes a nice attempt to stop John in the paint. But then the 50-50 ball goes to the Grizzlies. 50-50 balls and turnovers cost these Knicks tonight. The Knicks had 15 turnovers, and the Grizzlies only had 9. No. 9 turnovers, yeah. So that tells you a lot right there. Here we go. There was a 6-point game. That was a crucial. Look at that. Where was IQ on covering that? Why? How do you leave Desmond Bane, a 42% three-point shooter who's having a breakout season, who's a beast from behind the line? How do you leave him wide open with the game hanging in the balance? I'm at a loss for words, really, because that is not just a player issue. That is also a coaching issue. It has to be. This was a nice move by Randle. That was actually a nice move. That was in the beginning of the third quarter. So now we're back to the beginning. All right, let me go to this. The tale of two halves here for Julius Randle. So Julius Randle, I told you, he almost had a triple-double, finished with 18 points. He got 12 of those in the first half. He got 4 rebounds in the first half. He had 5 assists in the first half. He was playing a decent game. Yeah, we were a -5, but look, when you look at the field goal percentage, still 41.7%, 5 of 12. 1 of 6 from behind the three-point line. 1 of 6. RJ, also a bad offensive first half. 1 of 6 overall, 16.7% from the field goal. But his one bucket was a three-point bucket, so he finished 1 of 2. Free throws. Missed 3 free throws. At least he went to the line, though, so that was good, but he missed 3 of them. Come on, man. Make your buckets. Finished with 8 points in the first half. He was a -2. Mitch, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks in the first half. Mitch Robinson finished with 8, and I will get to him later because he is the star of this game along with Evan Fournier. Look at Evan Fournier, 4 of 5, 3-point line. This is all in the first half, but yet he was still a -6. Kemba only played 6 minutes and 36 seconds in that first quarter. He was pulled because he was having a terrible, terrible night. Look at it. 1 rebound, 1 assist, only 1 field goal attempt, -2. He was a non-factor, but he was replaced by Alec Burks, who actually was almost worse, as you can see by the -16 in that first half. And Mitch, who was killing it, he was 5 of 6 from in field goal percentage. They brought in Nerlens. He was a 0, -14. Quentin Grimes, who we've come accustomed to killing it lately. He did not have this wasn't one of his good games. He finished with 4 points, 2 of 5 overall. He did not hit a 3-point shot. But look at this. Look at the second half. RJ Barrett comes out and starts balling. He connects on 6 of 11. Didn't make a 3-pointer, but only attempted 2. He hit all 3 of his free throws in the second half. 15 points. He finished the night with 23 points. He was the second high scorer behind Evan Fournier. And that is the mark of a guy, of a budding star. A guy who cannot have that great a night, but still give you, 23 points. That's decent, 7 of 17. It took him 17 shots to give you 23 points, but that you can work with that. That's something you can work with. You can almost bank it. Look at Evan Fournier, though. 18 points in that second half. 4 of 7 from the 3-point line. He was killing it. I mean, we would not even have had a chance to almost win this game if it weren't for Evan Fournier. That is absolutely 100%. 100%. Immanuel Quickley, he recovered in the second half, finished 3 of 6, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. But as I said, those 2 turnovers actually they were clustered together right when the Knicks were making a push earlier in that fourth quarter. This was an incredibly frustrating loss. I wish that Thibs had embraced the youth more with this game, especially knowing the opponent. I mean, it was going to be an uphill battle regardless. So why not test your young core tonight on a night when your older guys like Burks, Nerlens, Kemba just didn't have it? Why not give you some minutes to Deuce? Why not give some minutes to Sims as opposed to wasting them on Taj and Nerlens? Why not play Cam Reddish? Cam Reddish, with his body, his length, his speed, his defensive ability, he could have been a very effective player tonight. What is it? Why are you protecting your rotation as if it's like this incredible winning formula? We're 24 and 28. There's nothing to protect here. There's no precious spots in the rotation. We're 24-28. Yeah, Cam is not necessarily going to win us this game, but if he gets his feet wet here in a game that actually matters, where we might have had a chance to win, there could be benefits down the road. What are you doing? What are you doing, Knicks? What are you doing, Thibs? Why are you wasting the time? Why are you wasting court time on guys like Burks when they don't have it? If they have it, then let them play. But if they don't have it, don't force it. Same with Kemba. It's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Let's talk about something good. Knicks Stats tweeted this out. Mitchell Robinson is the first Knicks player with at least 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 blocks in a game since Patrick Ewing in 1991. That's the kind of player that the Block Nest Monster is turning into. Look at that. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 8 blocks tonight. 8. I wanted 5 or 6. He gave us 8. He even had an assist. He finished 7 of 8 overall. I got to applaud Mitch Robinson. Fantastic. And Evan Fournier. And RJ in the second half. And to some extent, Julius, he had a better game. But he's still nowhere near where he needs to be. Nowhere near where he needs to be. Yeah. But there is somebody that is very, I'm worried about, but maybe that second half, which is why I showed you those stats. I broke it up into 2 halves. Quickley had a terrible first half, but he kind of came back in the second half. He sparked, but the mistakes. Bro, Quickley, stay within yourself. Don't try to go too far outside of your actual abilities. Those 2 turnovers that you made were momentum killers. I still believe in you, man. I still believe in you. I still think you can be a special player in this league. But the time is now. You have to snap out of it. I want to see the Quickley that we saw in the second half from now on for like the next 20 games or so. That's it. This is it. It's year 2. It's time to start delivering. Look what happened with RJ last year. He leveled up last season, and now it's time for you. Obi is, he's there. Obi actually has somewhat leveled up over last season. Tonight was not a good night for him in general, but lately Quickley has not been delivering. Hopefully the second half can spark some renewal within him that he can carry over into the games when he comes to LA to play and moving forward in those next 16 brutal games with 2 long road trips. One of them out west. I believe the second one is into the Midwest. It's tough. I'm concerned about this team. I'm concerned about where they're at. I don't believe that Thibs actually has the answers to how to turn this roster into a winning roster. He keeps going back to he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. And even though people attribute that to Einstein, doing the same thing over and over again is equivalent to insanity. He actually didn't say that, even though people credit him. But who cares who said it? It's true. It's insane to keep trying the same thing over and over again. And this is the most important thing right now that I'm going to say. Let me find this here. Okay. It's time to bench Kemba. I don't care. I don't care if you're trying to build up his value to trade him. You're actually diminishing his value. You're diminishing his value right now. Bench him. If you don't, since Derrick Rose isn't available, and you're unwilling to start Quickley, but we need defense in that first unit, because we don't want to bench Fournier right now. Look, he just gave us 30 points in the month of January. I tweeted this out. He was the 5th best three-point shooter in the entire NBA in the month of January. You're not going to bench that guy right now. And he's starting to somewhat get it defensively. So the solution is start Quentin Grimes in place of Kemba, but run the point through RJ. Now, RJ and Julius will get the primary ball handling, the primary playmaking responsibilities. However, we know that Evan loves the ball in his hands. He loves to get touches. This will increase his touches, which in essence will increase his shooting productivity. That's the idea, at least. So then at least we have Quentin Grimes out there playing defense on the perimeter. RJ playing defense on the perimeter, like plus defense. I mean, tonight, RJ, Ja had trouble handling RJ. In fact, Ja in the second half, I think he scored 4 points in the second half. He had a excellent first half, but he did not have a good second half. What did he finish with? Ja finished. Well, he did finish 23 points. So I guess, yeah, I guess he did finish. He got 8 points in the second half, but 0 for 6 from the 3-point line. 9 of 27. It took him 27 field goal attempts to get 23 points. RJ bothered him. Grimes, when he was on him, bothered him as well. Of course, he's going to get his buckets sometimes. It's going to happen. He's just a gifted athlete, gifted scorer. But, you know, defensively, that's a nice defensive backcourt. They can shoot the three. They have excellent size. They can hurt some people. And then we got Fournier there at the 3, who, you know, when he's getting touches, he can make plays, he can drive, he can shoot. And then Julius. Maybe we can get a repeat performance that we got tonight from Julius in the games coming forward. More like the first half than the second half. And then Mitch is just coming on. I'm loving Mitch's game. Nerlens, it's almost a waste of minutes. I would rather see his minutes split between Obi when we go small. I don't care. I don't care about the rim protection. Who cares? We're losing. Philosophies don't. You can have all the philosophies in the world, but if they're not working, what's the point of them? Go with the small ball, and then those additional minutes. Let's get Jericho Sims in there for that vibrancy that he brings, that spring that he has in those thighs. The guy can sky. The guy is he's an athletic wonder. Get him in the game. Get him in the game. And then off the bench, you know what I'm going to say? Play Quickley with Deuce together. It'll be a nice combo. And then you still have Burks on the bench until he gets traded. And then Obi. Yes. Okay. This one went long. I had a lot to say because we're moving into a very serious stretch now for this team. And the trade season is upon us. Let's see what's going to happen. All right, guys. Hey, please subscribe if you haven't yet. And drop your comments. Definitely want to hear what you're thinking. And the thumbs ups. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.